This is the presentation of my research project for my MSc Youth Sport Coaching. Firstly, we're going to go through the resource in this order. We're going to go through a needs analysis to show why the resource was needed and how important it is. We're then going to go through the aims of the resource and what we've tried to achieve by completing it. And lastly, I'm going to go through how it works for teachers and for coaches. Can you ever remember being taught to run? Okay, there are a lot of children in schools, in clubs, who cannot perform simple fundamental movement skills: running, walking, jumping. With the help of this resource, the aim is to allow coaches to develop players or athletes, both technical and physical abilities of them. Every child is born with the ability to be able to move. Each child will have a different technique, again, whether it be jumping, running, throwing or catching, and it's our job to bring that ability out of them. The main aim of this resource is to provide coaches and teachers with the knowledge of how important fundamental movement skills are. The resource provides teachers and coaches with fun, football-orientated games and activities that are designed to develop these skills. Once you are armed with these skills and a coach's new knowledge, they can refer to this resource for feedback and to help plan with their sessions. So, how does it work? The activities that are provided within the resource are pitched at a simple, easy level so that it's easy for coaches of all abilities to use. Make sure they are friendly and easy to use, so they're easy to include within a football session. Each activity has progressions that makes each game simpler for players that are struggling, or harder for players that are finding them too easy or excelling within the practice. There are 6 football-specific fundamental movement skills: striking with the feet, balance, jumping, landing, rotation and running. Each skill has a description and an overview of the catalogue of activities. Each skill is easily accessible through the contents page of the resource. This is what the first page of each skill will look like. It's called the description page. We're going to have the title at the top of each page with a brief description of what the skill is, or the fundamental movement skills we're looking at. Okay, and each description will have a visual aid so it's easy to recognise and identify for people who struggle like that. Each skill have an activity catalogue. Okay, so there's a library of games and activities, easily accessible through this overview page where it's all in order and it's easy to flick through and find them. Each activity gives information about what fundamental skills are being developed within each game. For example, in the fancy feet game, dribbling and controlling, so striking with feet, controlling with feet, that is the skills that are being developed within that game. They're also broken into easy steps, so discovering, developing and consolidating phases. This picture here has just got the discovering pictures on them. The activities page, so the actual activities where you find them. There's a short description of the fundamental movement skills that are being used at the top. There's also setup information so that coaches can get the equipment required that they need to be able to set the activity up. And on some activities there are also visual aids. So for example, this one is called Tricky Trapping Techniques, where there's an image of the coach performing different trapping skills. Okay. There's also a description of the activity and coaches' tips for what the players should be looking for and how coaches can help the players. So discover, develop, consolidate. There are activities for each of these three phases. This allows the user, the coach, the teacher to select suitable games to meet the needs of their group or class. The description of each skill will give the coach information to see whether the group is needed to take a step forward or perhaps maybe take a step back until they reach the required level to go to the next phase. There's also information on the activities page. So, in conclusion, even with the help of this resource, there are still children who cannot perform basic movement patterns. Have a look around the playground. There is lots of children running, playing, okay, and the movement technique is not ideal. Okay, it is important that coaches who are trying to teach how to perform these skills have the correct knowledge and skills, and through this resource, hopefully, we can pass on required information to them. Coaches must be patient and allow children to develop their own time. We must remember that children are not adults and they all learn in different ways.